Hello and welcome to NDTV. I'm Rohit Khilnani. Joining me is Kiara Advani, who's having a dream run at the box office. People are calling you the golden girl of this industry. So congratulations, and this is a tremendous achievement.
Thank you. It's a team effort, two films through the pandemic. I think we've, given our heart, soul, everything we could to it, and it's just so overwhelming and gratifying now that the audience has loved both films and given it this kind of, the reception that it's received. I think couldn't be happier right now.
Right. 2019 you had 4 releases. 2020 also I think you had 4 releases.
Yeah.
And then came these 3 films which really, changed things for you. How much of this was planned and how much of this just happened?
None of it was planned. It all just happened. 2019, you're right actually, 2019 was a very special year with Kabir Singh and then Good News.
Yeah.
2 different films back, in the same year, receiving tremendous love and appreciation. And again, 2022, I feel back to back, literally a month apart. 2 films, again, different genres, getting this kind of love. So I think both these years will be very special. I'll be remembering these dates now.
Right. And I remember talking to you before and after Shershaah. Right now, when you look at what does a hit movie like that do to your career?
I mean, it gives you, professionally, I think it just gives you a sense of confidence when you go forward with your next film in terms of, pushing your boundaries, just bringing the best out of yourself. I mean, with every film, you want to be better.
Right.
And naturally, when a film is appreciated, you automatically feel a sense of motivation to kind of, that you're on the right path or something's working, you're learning, unlearning constantly, and the experience definitely helps. And Shershaah, I think, it really, I mean, it came at a time when, I think it was one of the first few Hindi films, I mean, through the pandemic, which really created this havoc on OTT, because it was made for a theatrical release. We couldn't at the time put it in cinemas due to them not operating at 100%, and there was this collective call of, we made the film now, waited, let's put it. And I think for a film that had that experience, still getting this universal love, it almost felt like a theatrical release. It didn't feel like it was anything less. And I feel like it changed for most of us. It kind of changed the way we started even seeing OTT versus theatrical. I think it's just become both coexisting and still receiving, you can do well on either platform.
Right. Correct. It achieved so much. What more could it add if it had released in the theaters, right?
That's
how you think?
I mean, obviously because we made it for the big screen, we wanted to watch it on the big screen. Some of us got to watch it on the big screen because we did screenings like that. But I think even for the audience, they would have loved to watch it like that. But I think the love that it receives, a good film is a good film. So no matter where you watch it, if it touches your heart and it hits the right note, then you're home.
Right. That film had everything going for it. I remember, if we put your interview out or anything of Shershaah, everything was just doing well. It was clearly the flavor of that time. Also, if you can explain, if there are actors watching, what for a Bhool Bhulaiya, for example, that has Karthik, and also it has, you were very good in the movie. Also, it has Tabu, who's an incredible actor. There's so much to learn from her. What is your process and approach to a film like that?
I mean, that's a fun film. Even as a genre, it's it's one of those entertaining films that you go in knowing you're going to have a blast.
Right.
Anis sir, who I felt was really the person who held the film together, because this film began 2019 and released it this year. So you can imagine the journey, through all the speed breakers and road bumps, given the situation and the climate in the country at that point, in the world rather, with the pandemic. I think he really stuck to, no, this is going to be a theatrical release, and, they just kept working at it to make it the best possible version of the film that it could be. It's also being a franchise film, had a lot going for him, a lot of, the stakes were high. People wanted to know what is Bhool Bhulaiya 2 going to be like. And I feel today, now that it's released, it's got its own individual, identity. Of course, the franchise did help us, but it stands on its own shoulders today. And everyone associated with the film, I think, be it Karthik, who's fantastic in the film, Tabu, she is a legendary actress, and she really takes it to an all-new height. And then every single cast member, Rajpal Yadav, Sanjay Mishra, Ashwini, all of them, I think, it was just that pure family entertainer that kids loved it. I mean, I remember walking, when we were going for promotions for JugJugg Jeeyo, everywhere I went, I never had so many kids come up to me because they loved Bhool Bhulaiya. It had just released, so I got to see that first-hand experience with the crowd, with the audience. And I think with all my films, they've done fairly well. People have loved it. They've come as in the youngsters. But to see kids really come up and give you shower that kind of love on you, that was the first which I received, I think, all thanks to Bhool Bhulaiya. I think they loved it. They were like, meet and this and that. And I was just like, how cute. And I mean, that was the audience. It was that complete family audience.
Right. And then came another family film, JugJugg Jeeyo. Did you have an idea that this will come back to back?
I mean, yes, both the date announcements had. No, I mean, JugJugg, I'd signed a year after Bhool Bhulaiya, but we completed the films around, the same time. And I knew when they had announced the films, I knew the dates were back to back. It's funny, in fact, Govinda Naam Mera was meant to release between these two films. And I was just thanking my stars that it's been, pushed to later this year, because I said 3 films in 2 months are like, I don't know, will the audience want to come for me? It was like my film festival. Literally, Varun used to joke, he's like, it's Kiara Film Festival going on right now. There's Bhool Bhulaiya also playing, there's JugJugg Jeeyo also playing, and I was like, it was crazy. I mean, now that both have been loved so much, I'm really happy. At that time, I was like, I wish it was spaced out. I mean, I knew that both were very special, and we did somewhere, I think everyone associated with both films, independently. We knew that what we had made. I think everybody had a lot of faith in the films, in the product that we were, delivering. So we knew that both films would do well. But now that it's done well and it's done this well, some have, it's superseded everyone's expectations.
You have done many films and you will also do many different genre films. What is the best part that you're enjoying about doing these family entertainers? What is the biggest advantage of that?
I think for me, I realized in the pandemic, while consuming a lot of content on OTT, that I miss going to the theaters, and I miss that experience of watching a film with a community. And I miss watching a film with my whole family. So there were select films that we watched as a family on OTT, together. We would all, my mom, dad, brother, myself, we were like, okay, let's, do this Friday night film watching at home. But most films we ended up watching independently. And I said, as an actor, I mean, I grew up going to the theaters. That was my outing. That was like, what do you do on the weekend? We go to the movies. We go to a theater, bunch of friends, full family, take that full last row or whatever seats you get sometimes, and enjoy the movie. And I missed that, and I felt like there are certain films which kind of demand that and are more fun to watch. I mean, of course, if I watch Bhool Bhulaiya and JugJugg Jeeyo on my own, I'd love it, but I'd love it even more when I watch it with my whole family. And that's when I realized, I said, I'm craving for this. I'm craving to go back to a cinema, and I want to make films now where I can cater to all age groups, where I can, that's my aim now, that I want an entire family to walk in, like the head of the family to the youngest member of the family to the eldest member of the family, who can sit and watch a film together and enjoy it together. Right. None of that, close your eyes when the kissing scene is going on, or do this. My mom used to tell me stuff like that. So I said, I want to do a pure, like a entertainer where all age groups can enjoy it. There's a mix of everything. There's drama, there's comedy, there's action. It just gives you a very wholesome experience, and it transports you to a different world. And both these films, fortunately, had that ingredient. So I feel this was, right after theaters reopened. I felt these were the kind of films that I wanted to watch, and I'm glad that I was in them and able to bring them to the audience.
Right. I've interviewed a lot of actors who have, from their first film to now, there's a huge change we see in confidence when something like that, you're literally peaking with every film. And another thing is, who are the people, how does one stay grounded and not start thinking that this is it, I'm
the shit suddenly.
Right.
I have to give a lot of, it's funny, so many people ask me this question of how do you stay grounded, or how is it that it's the same person like we've met before, we still feel like we're talking to the same person. I feel like I should and I want to give a lot of credit to the people I surround myself with. My family to begin with, my friends, my own team, my core team, be it my stylist, hair, makeup, my management, my PR, they've all been people I've worked with right from the very beginning. So they've not changed around me. I don't think they've let it get to me. It's so funny sometimes, because through the pandemic we always had a mask on, right? So I could go around freely, and I was so used to sometimes going incognito, not getting recognized and things like that. And then when they lifted the rule, and I remember like once or twice telling my manager, I said, okay, I feel like going to this mall, let's go on our way somewhere, let's go. He said, listen, we can't, we've not got security, there's nobody with us. It's okay, wear the mask, nobody will know. He said, no, they will know, please know that people know who you are, stop behaving like this. And I did, I remember walking out of the car and like 20 people with the mask have recognized me. I sat back in the car, shut the door, and be like, okay, maybe I can't go. So, but I feel like these little things, I feel they've kept me grounded and also kept me, like in a sane space, in a sane headspace as well. They've been with me right from the beginning, and I think that equation has not changed, and maybe that's why it's also not really made me change at all.
Right. Also, what happens around stars is, people around will always say that everything is fine and everything is great and everything is the best. Do you think they have that liberty, and do you give them the liberty to say something if they don't like something?
Of course, all the time. I think an honest equation is very important. And I feel my team is very honest with me. If sometimes maybe they're also a little biased because we work together for so long. There's this love and admiration that we have for each other. So, like, for small things from a red carpet look to like, of course, bigger things to scenes, they'll always, if it's good, they'll go the extra mile to say it was the best.
It's the best. Right?
It's never good, it's the best. But if things have not worked for them, like they feel like, okay, maybe this scene didn't work, that movie didn't work, they tell me, but they tell me a little later. They'll not tell me when I'm in the middle of promoting it or when it's just released. And 1-2 days later, so we took so and so and they had this opinion, and then cut to it comes down. But it's been a while. I mean, luckily, this year the 2 films I think have been unanimously loved. So I've not really gotten that kind of feedback. But my team's honest. My brother is very honest with me. He'll be like, oh shit. Or he'll be like, I really like that. It was really good. I'm proud of you. So I really look forward to his opinion most of the time.
Nice. Who all have a say in finalizing a project? When you get excited about something and you want to do it, who are the other people who have a say in it?
I think I'm very instinctive when it comes to choosing a project. I do like discuss it with my team and my management team to see, to just hear their thoughts and just hear them out, because sometimes I like a little bit of a, what do you think? I'm excited about this. What do you feel? But eventually it's my call. I've never really gone with anybody else's decision. They have loved films that I have not really connected with. And they're like, but are you sure? And I'm like, but I've not connected with. No matter what you all think, ultimately I'm the one working in it. So I have to connect with it, and I have to really, be 100% excited about a film. So that happens, but it's always been entirely my decision. Because I feel like, I feel like if it doesn't work, you shouldn't have anybody, should I listen to it? And then films are for life.
Right.
So I think it should always be your own decision.
Right. As a viewer, what do you like enjoying?
I'm a very feel-good viewer. I like seeing, happy, fun films. I love family entertainers. I love romantic films, like an intense romantic film. But I think a little bit of everything.
Okay. The advantage that your generation has, that that you all are born with social media, Instagram and all this comes so naturally to all of you. The previous generation is a little bit, they're catching up, some are struggling. Some say they don't enjoy it at all. What is your take on, do you enjoy it, and how much of yourself do you want to put out there?
I think most of it is like work related. You see a lot of BTS behind the scenes of, whether it's shoots, whether it's prepping, all of that. And then of course it's like it's most of my work is on my social media. So
Yeah.
before anyone else gets to see it, I think I put it out there. I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it. I feel it's a fun space to, to get a reality check sometimes not take it seriously, which I don't. Connect with fans, connect with people, know what's out there. Even today, just going to a restaurant, you open the Instagram page and you know what looks good, what you want to order, or going to a store, whatever. So I am a visual person, so I like seeing pictures. I like seeing, it's an easier way to kind of catch up or put things out there. But I try not to take it too seriously. And I don't let the pressure of, I handle my own social media account. I don't have the pressure of, nobody puts the pressure on me. I don't let them put it on me of, you haven't posted and it's been so long and all of that. I don't take any of that. When I want to, I post. When I don't want to, hopefully you'll wait for it.
Right. In fact, I just interviewed Ranbir yesterday, who said that, I would like to guard my personal life. I really want to guard my personal life. And I understand if anyone wants to put it out there. Where are you in this?
My personal life, I think I would agree. I feel like it's something that I want to protect. Right. So, that's why I think even on my social media, it's very limited about my personal life. You'll see you'll see me in my, you'll see the BTS and that's as personal as it will get. You'll see the behind the scenes honor shoots. You'll get to know me through that. But I think when it comes to my family or my, my own personal life, it is a very sacred space and I would like to keep it that way. I would also like for my work to be the focus and everything else just, keep it.
But there will always be those who will be interested in your personal life.
Good. I'm glad you're interested. I mean, that means you're relevant. So that's a good thing. I don't want to tell them anything. I think I'm glad that it makes it exciting for you, but I hope you understand, and I think they do. Everyone knows that, that okay, at the end of the day, they're public figures, but they are also human beings, private people. We have a family, we have our own lives, so they can guess and keep guessing, but I don't have to give that answer always.
Right, of course. And then so what would be your next release?
Govinda Naam Mera should release, I think, this year. So that may be the next one this year. Shankar Sir's film will release early next year. Mid next. I'm not sure actually. Release dates have not been announced, but these are the two films that people know that are already announced. The others I can't speak of. Whenever the production houses decide to announce them, then we know.
When touchwood, when things are going this right, that films are just working for you. So signing future films, does this play on your mind that now I have to maintain this kind of level?
Consistency is hard now in this sense. I think there's a drive for sure that okay, now what next? What's exciting? I keep saying I really want to do action. I said to my team, I'm like, next year I have to do action. It's, I think, you've not seen me doing action. I know that I'll have to push myself, physically to another level as well. So I feel there are certain genres that I haven't done that I want to focus on signing for the year to come. So there are things that I want to do. I hope I am able to, do the best of that as well next year.
Right. I think you'll be super in action. So I hope you get to do that next year. And just all I would say is that just continue to be the way you are. It's absolutely amazing to meet someone who's so successful and yet so grounded sitting in front of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.